Hey everybody, so I'm actually about to go out today and pick some dandelions. I wanted to bring you all with me. As you can see, I have my food dehydrator, and I'm actually have been waiting for over a year for these dandelions to grow. And yes, even though a lot of people are on quarantine, I think we still are allowed to go to the parks. Lucky me, I live right beside a park. And then there's another park like a block from that park, and I could go there too. I saw some dandelions growing out there. The issue is that I live in New York City, so technically from what I've read, it's illegal to forage, but I talked to the people who maintain the park and they look at the dandelions as just straight weed, nothing to really think about. So the man told me, he said, yeah, go get ahead and get them. He said, we don't spray anything on the grass, nothing sprayed. He said, we just mow the lawn and that's it. So from my understanding, he was pretty much like saying, go ahead, get what you can get before we cut the grass. That's pretty much what he told me. He don't know the next time he's going to do it. And I don't know if the quarantine is keeping them from working. But what I do know is that I seen them growing out the other day. I did pick a little bit, but I didn't want to do too much considering that they're just growing. But I'm also cautious and a little concerned because what if they decide to start cutting the grass and I miss my chance opportunity? I do want to do some projects with the dandelions, and I did, the ones that I did pick, it's a little bit, it's not a lot, and it won't be enough for what I really want. So I don't really want to go out there and pick too much. I like to leave some behind. I've actually thought about moving some to a different location so I can have some all year long. We will see how that goes. I might just grow them in here, get the seeds, grow them in here, and then repot them in a safe haven or a place in the park so that, you know, they just don't just keep cutting the grass. So with that being said, I'm about to head out now, and I wanted to bring you all with me because I want to show you the process and what I do when I go ahead and forage for dandelions. So with that, let's go. As y'all can see, I'm at the park and I'm already seeing some dandelions as I walk up into the park. I don't think I'm gonna touch the dandelions in this park just yet because, you know, there's another park that I haven't really walked through, but when I was going through there, I saw a ton of dandelions at the bottom. But I don't want to pick anything that's young. I want to pick some dandelions that are a little bit mature. Even then, I don't want to do too much. So I just want to have enough. Not just for me, but also for the insects and the bees out here who may want them. But with all that being said, they still going to come out here and cut all the grass. So let's just see what's out here. So I'm coming up upon some dandelions. This is probably the most I've seen in one cluster. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start collecting some, just enough, and then I'm gonna head to one spot and see what else there is around. So let me go get things set up so I can start collecting. So as you can see, I got some of my dandelions. I didn't want to do too much. As you see, I left a lot of them up on the hill. I like for flowers to have the chance to bloom and blossom. But at the same time, I'm still going to keep an eye out because when they start cutting the grass, all that's going to be gone. But with that, I'm going to go look, check out some more other piles. And I'm going to collect some more of these. So that's pretty much for this area. I'm going to head on over to the next park. Today, I'm not going to focus on getting the leaves on the dandelion plant because those are edible as well. But I'm just going to focus on the stem and the flower bloom. You know what? I might actually collect some leaves. We will see. for some of the dandelions that's growing singly, I'm not touching them. I want them to come up nicely. You know, I want them to, you know, be good. Now, the dandelions that have the closed head, you don't want to pick those. You want to pick the ones that are fully open. And so when I head back in, I'm going to do a fast process of prepping them so that I don't have to deal with them blooming into a full-blown seed. So let's head on over to the next part. So I'm out here at the next park, and as you can see, there's a field of yellow flowers behind me, but don't get them confused with dandelions, because there's a lot of flowers out here that look like dandelion flowers. I got one right here, as you can see. While it may resemble a dandelion flower, it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go look around, because I did see some out here the other day. They're very far few in between. But I want to check out the flowers and see where I can find. So this would be a good time to actually learn, even for myself, how to distinguish the different types of plants. This is a learning process for me as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look around and see if I can find anything. If not, I'm going to just head straight back home and take what I got. As you can see, there's a spot of dandelions right there. I'm going to look around. I don't really like getting dandelions from the edge, because, you know, animals have a tendency to urinate all right there. But I might just come back, and if I must, I will just do a cleansing process, and I'll show you all that when I get back inside. So as y'all can see in my hand, I did pick up a few dandelions. I'm not going to get that many. I don't want to touch them. I do want to wait a little longer. I do want to allow the flowers, or some people like to call them the weeds, to grow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go on here home so I can get ready for the prepping process for this dehydration. So let's head on home now. So I just got back in, and as you can see, I have my dandelions in the bag. I didn't get a lot, which I'm okay with. I don't need a lot. I just want to get enough, because pretty much it's like an educational video. But what I do want to say is that I was talking to the lady, and she was asking me what I'm doing. I was telling her the benefits of dandelions, and also the legality of things. She mentioned, and she brought up, you may want to be careful, because, you know, people have their animals and their dogs, and they may piss and do whatever everywhere. And I said, good point. But I said, I also have my own cleaning process, and I might take an extra precaution and take it another step. So I'm going to show you all what I'm going to do when I am working with dandelions, and you could probably do this too. If you live in a big city, you might want to take this precaution. If not, you might be okay, especially when it comes to herbs. Me, I have nowhere else to go. If I was to go back down south, I have plenty. There's field loads, but up here, that's not much, so I gotta take extra precautions. So with that, let me get started with the process now. So as you can see, I have my bowl ready, but before I even start washing, I want to show you all what I'm going to do. So in regards to washing the dandelions, sometimes what you can do is wash your dandelions or add a little vinegar into the water. Some people are familiar with doing this with meats and other vegetables and herbs. So I want to do the same thing. I had this for a minute. So what I would like to do is fill this up with some water, some lukewarm water. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much I'm going to pour in here. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's just pretty much it. That's all I'm going to add in there. And I'm going to let this fill up. So I'm going to get ready with that. As you can see, I have my dandelions that I put in the bag. So I'm just going to let it be right there. And I went out, and you can see I got my dandelions. And you can see they still open. They're still open. So I want to start putting them in the water, letting them soak. You don't want no bugs to be on them. And you definitely want to get these clean, especially they've been outdoors for a while. So let me put them in here. I'm going to get my other bag and put the other ones in here. Let them soak in here, then put some more water in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these sit in here and soak for like a few minutes, and I'm going to come back and get ready to start really rinsing them and, you know, washing them. I don't really want to do too much because I don't want them to lose their you know, nutrients, but I'm just going to do enough so that I know that I'm all right. And if you decide to do this, you know that you can take some extra precautions and steps to make sure that, you know, you're taking care of your own health. So with that, I'm gonna let this sit in here and soak for like a few minutes, not long, and then I'm gonna come in here and start rinsing them out, so I know that they are clean and washed. So I let these sit in here for a few moments, and what I want to do, I want to start straining them and actually rinsing them out so they know they are done. I'm gonna pour this in here. The flour's looking nice. As you can see, some of them are starting to close up, and I want to start processing this before they really start getting to this point. But over that, they still gonna go in there. I'm just gonna rinse them out a little bit. Make sure I got as much as I can. So what I'm gonna do now is start putting these in the dehydrator. So as you can see, I have my dandelions out on the dehydrator. I have 4 layers. I actually got 8 of these trays, but I'm going to use 4 today because that's all I need. You can see that I spread them out. And what I'm going to do is, for my next step in dehydrating, I want to make sure, first of all, I'm killing germs. But I don't want to do too much, and I don't want to be extreme. And to be honest, you don't have to go this route. But this is more so if you want to be safe. At least for me, I want to be safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here. And usually when you are working with herbs or, you know, weeds or whatever, or even vegetables, you want to put these on a lower temperature. But for right now, just to make sure that I'm able to kill germs, I'm going to put the heat on a higher temperature. Usually when you're dealing with herbs and spices or whatever, you want to put the temperature on 95 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and put it on 125 or 135 for at least an hour, and then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to put the temperature on 95. You don't have to do this. I will advise you to just do straight 95, but for safety precautions, at least for me, I'm going to do it this way to make sure I'm killing all germs and nothing else. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this up. And I'm thinking about just putting it in between 135 or 125. And I'm going to let this sit for an hour. And then I'm going to come back and then drop the temperature down to 95. So I don't over dehydrate my dandelions. So with that, I'll be back. So here we have the machine. It's been about a good 5 hours and I've been checking up on them. I do believe they're done. So what I'm going to do is unplug this right now. And I'm going to take this off and I want to show you what I have. So here are the dandelions. As you can see, they didn't puff up into little balls, those little white seed balls as you see them do. But I'm really liking this. And I do believe that the method of putting some vinegar in the water may help with this. But other than that, as you can see, they're done. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I already have a jar of some dandelions that I made, and what I'm going to do is just put the rest in here. This is a little bit that I collected like the other day, but what I'm going to do is put these dandelions in here, in this jar, and have this for something I have in the future. So let me go ahead and put these dandelions in the jar. So here we have it, the dandelions that were picked from the park. I'm quite excited about these because I didn't think that this year I would have been able to get more dandelions, or even get my hands on them, because they've been cutting that grass pretty much like once a week. And dandelions usually, even though they grow quite fast, you still need to give flowers a chance to actually grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep an eye on the park during the duration of the week, and if I could get more, I will. Another interesting thing that I saw as I was picking dandelions, for the first time in like years, I saw a bee. And it wasn't at the main park that I picked the first batch of dandelions from. It was at the second one. And I was like, I haven't seen a bee in a long time, which was interesting. So what I did was, I didn't really want to mess with that field. And I let the bees have it. Look, save the bees, right? So I'm happy. I'm definitely looking forward to using this as a tea. One thing you can do, if you get your hands on some dandelions, you can smell it. It's like has a sweet taste to it. And sometimes it's one of the things you can do, as you can see. You know, I want to show you all. But if you can't see, sometimes I'm like, I'll eat it, you know. So sometimes it has like a sweet taste to it. Sometimes it's bitter. It really does depend. When I dehydrate these, I keep the stem and the flower head. Now, sometimes like last time I'm gonna go pick some flowers, I did get some of the leaves. So I do believe that next time what I'm gonna do is collect some of the leaves as well as the stem and the flower. Last year I did get some of the roots of the dandelion. I would get the root. I would, unbury the root or dig the root up. I would break pieces of the root off and I would rebury it in the ground, because what people don't know is that with dandelions and the roots will grow back. Dandelions are very, not only just versatile, but they can endure a lot. So I didn't want to remove the roots or the flowers from their home. I just wanted to have enough for me and respect the flower so that I can do what I need to do, because this helped me in regards to a lot of health issues that I was having. If you have any flowers or dandelions growing in your field, I would definitely say go ahead, try it, dehydrate them. You can actually use the oven to dehydrate your herbs. Definitely make sure that they are not sprayed with anything. If you want to clean them, definitely wash them, maybe add a little vinegar, put the heat on high for like an hour like I did, and then turn it back down. It took me about 5 to 6 hours right after I turned the heat down. If not that, it probably would have taken 10 hours, maybe a little more. But with that being said, I'm excited about this, and I hope you are too. With that being said, if y'all enjoyed this video, definitely like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.